Hello, everyone. Okay, so some things changed. I was recording my video last night of me making my chili, and just take a wild guess what happened. Go on, just ponder what you think happened. Just got some white Italian bread. So I'm recording the video of me making my chili again because, as we all know, the first video I made of me making the chili, the sound didn't work. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record a video of me making the chili again. So I'm cooking, I think it was like 16 minutes into the video, and the video just stopped. Just like it did the other night when what was I eating? The pizza. And it just stopped. So I saved the first video and hit record right away, so you guys didn't miss anything. And so it was in 2 parts. And I'm like, and I have them uploaded into my YouTube account, but I didn't make them public yet because I was laying in bed last night, and after the videos are already uploaded, they're just on private for the time being. And I'm like, I think I'm just going to do the video again. Because I'm like, if I am watching, actually, okay, I take that back. I have another option. This is what I was thinking about. If I was to make those 2 videos public. Now, mind you, it's a recipe video showing y'all how I make my chili. If I was watching a YouTube video and the recipe is in 2 parts, like 2 different videos, more than likely I'm not going to want to watch both. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it from you guys' perspective. So I'm like, I even joked around in the second video. I'm like, someone doesn't want me to let you guys know my chili recipe. So either I make it again in the future, in a couple months when I'm in the mood for it again, or I try to figure out iMovie and see if I can get them both into iMovie so that it plays as one video. So I may try to mess with the iMovie this week. So the recipe might come after if I can figure it out, how to get it all into one. If I can't, I'll just have to do it again. I don't know why it keeps stopping. It just like stops. I use QuickTime and it just stops. But anyway, so the chili is ready. Today's Sunday, May 14th. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I hope y'all are having a great day. So let's get a thumbnail of this. I always have butter bread with my... Ooh, I don't want to tip it too much. Look at that, look at that. Yummy, yum. Hopefully it got my thumbnail. So yeah, it's been cooking in the crock pot all night. I did turn it back to low, it was on low, and then I turned it back to warm before I went to bed, and I just left it all night. And when I woke up this morning, it smelled wonderful. I haven't tasted it yet, so hopefully it tastes, it's probably hot. Ooh. I didn't feel like putting a tank top under this shirt, so I need to watch the V-neck. Ooh, that red pepper, I was mentioning in my videos last night when I was making this, sometimes I put crushed red pepper and sometimes I don't. I did last night because when I gave my leftovers the last time I made this to some family members, they're like, it's not spicy enough. So I'm like, you want it spicy? I'll give you spicy. So I have one container already. I filled a container for leftovers, and we'll see if it's hot enough this time. So here, let me give you guys a bite. Ooh, look at it. Be careful though, it's hot. Go on and have yourself a nice big bite of that. You hear that plate like rattling? That's all I need is for it to fall. Okay, let's eat. Let's eat. But it's still gonna be hot. I should probably actually be doing this the other way around. Like this. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Beautiful. Beautiful. Delicious. Very good. I need to grab another paper towel and put it on my lap because just in case. I don't want to if it gets on these jeans, it'll probably stain. Maybe if I sat closer to the table. So yeah, I actually have a couple errands to run yet today. So I may take you guys with me on the drive. Possibly. For a little bit. Just waiting for the text saying that they're home. Because I want to drop off that food. So good. Does anyone else do this, what I'm doing? Put butter bread and then yeah, this probably is still not spicy enough for them. Delicious though. So today I posted the video Yeah. See, I don't of the cat that I'm trying to socialize, which I wouldn't call her feral, like feral. Because I, in the description, I had mentioned she's the 10th cat that I've trapped from outside. Since 2013. And I've had a couple feral. And she uses the litter box. Now she has some serious nails because they didn't trim her nails when I took her to get spayed back in March, because the plan was when you trap cats from outside, like with a TNR or trap neuter release program, or even if you do it on your own. I do it on my own. Um, when you have females, they typically like for them to stay indoors for a couple of days, just because when a female cat is spayed, it's more it's a more what's the word I should use? It's a more a little more complicated. Not complicated. It's the surgery is a little bit more intense, as opposed to males. So, like if you trap and neuter an outside male, they can typically go out the same day. After the once the anesthesia is all worn off. Um, but let me just say, every cat that I have trapped, none of them went back outside. I worked with all of them, the ones that needed work, and found homes for them. But yeah, the females, they're cut in their abdomen or lower stomach. I'm not using technical animal terms, but they have an incision. So they typically like for them to stay indoors. So that was the initial plan, because I'm like, I really shouldn't keep her. But then I'm like, if I move, who would feed her? She just started coming around. That's what all of them have done for whatever reason. It's not like I sit food out there and wait for them to come. They typically show up in the wintertime, and they just pretty much all of them, they just show up on my deck, and I catch them like looking in. And then I feel bad. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like the video I posted today of the girl I have, she was skinny. She started showing up in November. She was skinny, scrawny, and then like part of her tail looked like it was missing. But now I'm realizing, now that she's getting proper nutrition, it's growing. So I think it must have just been maybe poor nutrition. So I just didn't. So anyway, basically what I was getting at before I made that long story, they did not cut her nails because she was supposed to be going back outside, and they want them to have their nails so they can defend themselves. So her nails are really long. Now she's the only one out of the cats that I rescued over the years, she is the only one that has never scratched me, and she's never bit me. She's never, but she's scared. Like, the only time I can pet her is when she's eating. Now, I feed wet food 3 times a day for her. So each time I go up to feed her, I make sure I hold the dish every single time. I don't ever just put the food up there and leave, which that took some work from the very beginning till now. And then that's how I pet her, like while she's eating. I just, oh, excuse me. I have a bowl, and then um, I just hold my bowl like this, and she starts eating the food, and then I start off, rubbing her face, and then I go like this with the top of her head, and then she's comfortable with that, and then I'll start to do this, like over her head and down her neck and down her back. I keep trying to go like this on her back, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't try to bite, she doesn't scratch, she just backs away. That's what she does, she backs away. So I guess that's her mechanism. Thank goodness. At least with me, that's how she is with me. She has never tried to bite me. Now, in the very beginning, she did. She would hiss at me and she would growl, but she never attacked, never scratched, never lunged, nothing. She spit a couple times, but she's more like, she'll back away. And like her safe spot in my bathroom is the window or the bath. Well, she doesn't really do. In the beginning, it was the bathtub. She would run it, like when I would go up, she would run into the bathtub. Now she doesn't really do that anymore. She'll go up to the window. But it's cute now because now when I go up to feed her, like I'm walking up the stairs and I always say, "Hi, honey." I just call her honey. She doesn't have I didn't want to give her a name because I know I can't keep her. But so you just stand there for a while. I have 3 baby gates stacked on top of each other. I have the door open to the bathroom, and then just 3 baby gates, so she can hear the sounds, the smells, get used to house sounds. Vacuum cleaner, which she's still scared of the vacuum cleaner, but basically her safe spot is the windowsill now. So like if she's laying, I have blankets up there that she lays on. So if I'm going up the stairs, sometimes she'll just stand there at the gate and look at me. And then as I get closer, she moves a little bit. And when I'm opening up the gate, and then sometimes she'll sit on the toilet, like the lid is closed, but she'll sit and look. And then as I'm coming in, she usually jumps up on the windowsill. And then as I'm getting her food in her bowl, she keeps peeking her head out. And then she meows at me, like nicely now. It's like pretty much her hello. What she started doing like maybe 2 days ago. She did it once yesterday and she did it this morning. I'm putting her food into her bowl. She peeks around the curtain and I talk to her. And she meows, like a nice meow. And I'm just like, "Hi, honey. Are you hungry?" Blah, 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 in my voice. And she started to jump down now while I'm standing. Like she used to get scared when I would stand. If I would stand, she would run, back away. So yeah, my whole thing, I'm not an expert by any means. I just started doing this on my own. They showed up. I wanted to help. I don't know why they show up. People in my family say I'm the cat whisperer. But I'm all about letting them come to you when they're ready. That's how I look at it, because I feel like if you force them, it only leads to setbacks. And she's had a couple. There was one time I was feeding her and I'm holding a dish. It actually may have been the first time I went to try, like I told you, I normally pet, I'll go like this. I'll usually these. And she likes to smell, like once I start petting her, like the sides of her face or the top of her head. And then she'll want to smell, so I let her smell me. And then even when I start to do like the top of her head and go back, like down through her shoulder blades, I go probably about halfway down her back. Usually after like one or two times she wants to smell, so I go like this, and then she'll smell, and then she's okay, she'll start eating, and I do it again. Well, one time I'm like, I'm gonna try to pet her like this, and it scared her for whatever reason. Like, it's so weird how she can tell the difference between this and this. She's very, like, in the beginning she was scared of shadows. Like, so when I would go up, I feed her before I go to bed, she was scared of shadows. Like when I'm sitting there and you have a light on, you have a shadow. If I would make a little move and she would see a shadow, she'd back away. So she's gotten really, really good with shadows. So yeah, I just figured I'd tell y'all a little bit more about me, what I love doing. Very rewarding, when you see their transformation. And just to give you an example, the female calico cat that I have, I posted a video of her, was it last week? I think it was Kitty Dream. She was dreaming. I trapped her, or rescued her in 2013. She was feral. What happened was she brought 4 kittens to my house, which the really light colored one, they call it a buff color. That was one of her kittens. She had 2 male kittens and 2 females. So I took them all to the vet, got them vaccinated. She just brought them to my house, like under my deck. I'm like, I never did this before. I didn't know what I was doing. So, watched a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of websites. And that was the start of it, but she was feral, and I had the kittens. When I took them to the vet estimated them to be about 7 weeks at the time. So I just got the kittens, and I couldn't get the mom, but I had to work on socializing them. So once I got them socialized, I found homes for 3 of the kittens. The buff colored one that you guys see sometimes, Samara, she was always a hisser. And I just couldn't find anyone that would take her because she just hissed at everything. Like, she never bit, never scratched. She was just a hisser. And I guess people were scared of that, but she's totally harmless. But yeah, the mom, the calico cat I have, she was feral. I had the kittens in here, and I was working on socializing them. And what happened was, the mom would still come around. And one day, it might have been like a week after I brought the kittens out from under my deck, she was mating with another male cat. And I'm like, oh no, we can't have any more kittens. So I ended up trapping her, and I took her to get spayed, and I kept her in here. I I had her in a bathroom for a couple days. Might have been 3, 4 days. And she just wanted out, like nobody's business. She did not want to be in the house. And probably after a week. No, I didn't have. I think I tried keeping her in here for a week because she was female. But she just wanted back out there. I mean, I just kept trying to get her to stay in. All she would do is cry at the door. So it was probably after about a week. I let her back out. And she still kept coming back. She wanted food, of course, so I would feed her. And then I don't know what happened. I would bring her kittens down here and she would see them. And one day I opened the door and had some of her kittens down here and they were meowing and she came in and then I just shut the door. I'm like, no, I can't let you back out. So it took about, and I didn't let her back out after that, the mom. It took her about a month till she no longer wanted to go back out. I think she realized life was better and safer in here. But she did not play with toys. She did not meow for probably 2 years. She used the litter box, which was good. She just hid. She was always in the basement. And then she started, I would be in my bedroom and I would hear toys and Sebastian was in with me. So I'd peek around and she started playing with toys. And then a little while later, she starts jumping up on my bed to lay. I'm like, oh my goodness. So it took time, but now you would never know that she was feral now. Well, the only thing, she doesn't like to be picked up. But she'll lay right at me, like she'll lay right at my arms or right against me. But she doesn't like to be picked up. And I still do try. The longest I was able to hold her was probably 5 seconds. And another bad thing is she doesn't let me cut her nails at all. It's so weird because I can, she's getting better. Like I'll still go like this with her front paw. I can do this to her back paws. And in the beginning, when I would do just, pet her front paws, she would just move and jump off the bed or whatever. So she's getting better with me touching her paws, but she still doesn't let me cut her nails, so I have to take her to the vet, which is another story. It's hard getting her into a carrier. She's getting better though, but when the vets have to take blood from her, they usually have to give her put her under like a light anesthesia. But she loves being pet. She comes over to me now for attention and to be pet. She'll let me pet her. Wow, this is the end piece and I really shouldn't eat it, but what the heck. She'll let me pet her 20 minutes straight. So yeah, so the girl I have upstairs now, she's getting there. It's just my 2 females do not like her at all. And she doesn't like them. But she seems to be okay with Sebastian. I haven't taken the gate down yet, which I probably won't do because I don't want any cat fights with my 2 females and her, because that would just be scary. I don't need any wounds or anyone to get killed, so Um, so my mail, usually like once or twice a day, we'll go up and I'll give some. I feed them wet food, but I also have dry food. It's called Wellness True Food, which I give as treats. The treats I give is either that or um, some freeze-dried chicken. So when Sebastian comes up, like she knows his name too. I'm like, where's Sebastian? And she's like looking all around. But I haven't taken the gates down yet because they're just now getting comfortable with each other. Like in the beginning, they would hiss at each other, and then she would bat. Um, I would say the past couple of days when me and Sebastian go up, like we're on one side and she's on the other side of the gate, and or I'll be in with her and then Sebastian will be outside. But I'll give like I call them treats, even though it's the dry food. But I'll give one to her, one to Sebastian, so that they're eating like right there at each other. And they haven't hissed at each other. Usually it was Sebastian hissing at her, which he does that. He does that in the beginning, but he doesn't mean any harm. He just pretty much is saying I'm the boss. So the only thing she would do, and she's getting better at, especially yesterday and today, if I would give her a treat, you know, the dry food, if I would go to put it down, sometimes she would try to go to grab it, and I would say no. And in the beginning when I would say no, because I didn't want to get, and she's never scratched me, because I'm quicker than her, apparently, for the time being. But yesterday and today she's gotten much better, because what I've been doing is I lay a piece down, and then I'll give one to Sebastian, give one to her, give one to Sebastian. And I wait until she's usually pretty comfortable now with Sebastian. And so I lay it down, and if she stays without going to reach for it with her paw, I just say, good girl. And today, when me and Sebastian went up today, she didn't do it at all. Now yesterday, I think she tried to do it once, and I said no, and then she looked at me, and I say, be a good girl. And then I put one down, and I take my hand away, and if she does it without using her paw, I say good girl. So yeah, she's been doing really good with that. So yeah, I still have her for right now. About a month ago, one of my friends helps with rescues, and she was going to help me get the word out about her, about this kitty. But I'm so scared because the person has to be experienced. You know, I can't just, if they don't have any experience working with shy, scared cats, then I feel like she won't ever learn. You know what I mean? And I want her to be socialized so she can be in a forever loving home, you know? But she's definitely, out of all the cats, she's taken the longest. But I think a lot of it has to do with my females not liking her, and she not liking them. Now she could still have like an excess amount of, or I shouldn't say excess, no. She probably still has extra hormones, you know. I think it takes a couple months after they're spayed or neutered for their hormones to drop, so. But she's getting there. I wish I would have had them cut her nails, but they wouldn't have, because she was supposed to go back outside. Because her nails are razor sharp. So yeah, that's what I love doing. was only one cat. It was a male. I have to show you guys pictures one of these days of all the cats I rescued. This was back in I believe it was 2014. And actually, it was the male that I caught my calico cat mating with. This was like a year later. Like, I didn't see him too often. I saw him that time that he mated with her, and then I, brought her in and got her spayed. And then I really didn't see him. I think it was like about a year later. And he looked bad when I saw him a year later. Now, he was feral. He would run every time he saw me. I shouldn't say every time, because it wasn't often in the very beginning when he first started coming back around. But when he started coming back around, pretty sure it was late 2014. But now that I look back, it's probably why he started coming back around, because he was injured, but I didn't know it at the time what was wrong. He wasn't injured when I caught him mating with my calico. That was in 2013. But now that I look back, that probably is why he started coming back around, because he was injured. He didn't look good. His eyes were messed up. One of them was bulging. He just looked ratty. I could see one side of his face looked swollen, but there wasn't any. I didn't see any gash or any, any. I did not see an open wound. So, I'm like, I need to get him help. So, and he didn't come around that often. But I'm like, I need to put a trap out. I saw him, and I'm like, I need to put the trap out and try to trap him. And I didn't even have a vet appointment set up, because I didn't know when he was going to come around. But I saw him, and when he would come around, I did put food out for him, but I couldn't be around while he ate. He was feral. He didn't like people. But what was crazy is I put a trap out so that he could get used to seeing it, because you got to do this in steps usually. And what happened was, he went in the trap like 2 hours after I set it up, and I didn't even have food in it. So that was probably another reason, he was sick now. I mean, I know that now, but it ended up, he went in, and then I'm like, what am I going to do with him? I didn't have any vet appointment, because usually it takes a while for them to get used to seeing a trap and blah, blah, blah. To make a long story short, I got him to a vet, and he was FIV positive, and the vet said he was in the end stages. Like, I had to keep him over a weekend until I got the vet appointment. I think I must have trapped him probably on a Thursday or Friday. So I had to put him from the trap into a dog crate, and it was in my garage. And took him to the vet. He was FIV positive. She said he was at the end stages. He had glaucoma. He would have had to have his eye removed. Oh, and he had a horrible smell. And I didn't, when he would come around for food, the times he would come around, I never smelled anything. But she said that smell, but when I had him in the garage, like, I would go out, while I had him for those couple of days in the garage, and it would just smell like something, like rotting. And I was like, where is that coming from? I didn't see anything on him. But what it ended up being was, she said he had it was an abscess that had covered with hair. So she said more than likely that's when he got FIV. Izzy probably fought with another cat, probably another male, she said. And the wound was just old and it had abscess, and the reason I didn't see it was because his hair grew over it. So now that I look back, that's probably why he started coming back around again, towards the end. But yeah, he would have had have his eyes removed. The one definitely, the one possibly. Um, he had diarrhea. His coat wasn't looking good. His gums, everything, it was just horrible. And she said the vet called me, and I was on my way to school, and the vet called me, and she told me he was FIV positive, and I just started crying. I'm like driving, I had to pull over, and she was like, I think the best thing for him is to have him put to sleep. She said he's suffering now. He's at the end stage. She said, I guess they did blood work, and more than likely, he was severely anemic. She said the best thing, I think, would be to put him to sleep. And I was like, well, no, but I want to try to help him. And she was like, well, he could never go back outside again because he's FIV positive. So I'm like, look, can I think about it? And she was like, well, he's just under a light anesthesia right now. She said, so I need to know before he wakes up, because he was feral. And I had to give her a decision. The only thing she said was, we could try to help him, but he's going to need his eye removed, possibly the other one. He's very anemic. He has diarrhea. She said, I really believe this is the end stages of FIV. He had that abscess. So I'm like, okay. So I did private cremation for him. I have his ashes, and I have his ashes in a little cat thing with his picture. So yeah, I'm just telling you guys all my life story today. How long is this video now? This video is all about cats, 40 minutes long. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you guys my cat stories another time. Hopefully I don't have like parsley and stuff stuck between my teeth. This was delicious. I ate it all. Shouldn't have ate the extra couple pieces of bread, but I'm sorry I talk forever. Maybe once I get all my stories out, they won't be so long. I actually didn't mean for this to be that long. It's just a little bit into my life, what I love doing, what brings me joy. So yeah, I'm going to cut this video off because it's already long enough. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me eat this chili. I'll figure out what to do with the video of me making the chili. If I can't get it into one video, then I really don't want it to be 2 videos for you guys, because that would just be a pain in the butt trying to watch 2 videos for one recipe. So I'll work on that and see what I can come up with. If I can't get it into one, I'll just have to make it again. Try again. But anyway, I hope you all have a great Sunday. Again, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, have a great week coming up as well, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone. By the way, you may see me again if I do take you with me on the drive. Bye, everyone.